I'm Holly.
And I'm Bridget.
And this
is Girls Next Level. Cute sweater.
Thanks. It's Juicy Couture from Forever 21.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I took Rainbow to the mall and they had all this juicy stuff. I'm like, I've got to get it.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? I went to a mall that I don't usually go to, and it had a Forever 21. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen this in our mall. It was closed a long time ago. And it had all the like foreclosure signs, or not foreclosure, but like going out of business signs, like everything's on sale inside, you know? And I was like, yeah, they probably don't have anything. Because for the longest time, Forever 21 has not had anything I'm interested in. But right in front, I saw the cutest tank top that was so Bridget.
Like, did you get it?
Yes.
Oh,
and
good.
I went in and I bought a shit ton of clothes.
What does it look like?
Oh, it's just like a white tank top, but on the little pink flower, like rosettes in it.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is 100% Bridget. There was so much Bridget 2007 coded stuff in there that I was like, I need all of this.
It is fun to do a Forever 21 run. I'm not gonna lie.
It really was, and they're going out of business, or they're closing the
Forever
stores.
21.
Well, they were shutting down that store, and then the one in our mall already got shut down, and then the guy who was doing the like shutdown of it was on his way to the Sherman Oaks one too to shut it down.
That is shocking to me.
Yours didn't have signs in it saying like everything was on sale?
It did, but I didn't take it seriously. I was like, they probably say this every week.
Oh, no, I think it's for real. I mean, they're selling the fixtures and everything. So.
Whoa. I don't like it. Anyway, welcome back to Girls Next Level podcast. We're back recording because sometimes we'll batch record these. We're back recording after a couple weeks, and it has been
insanity.
A couple fucking weeks.
Holy shit, right?
Who's going first? Are we going by date or what are we doing?
I don't even know like where to start.
Me either. I think the first thing I remember is I had a friend pass away, which was horrendous.
Yeah.
My friend Dingo, he was just, I'm about to say the most cliche thing ever to be said because everybody says
Don't tell me he lights up a room.
No, he fucking lights, but he does.
No.
He does. Ask anybody. Like
that's the sign.
I know. I hate it. So he is the type of person who, like, he'd been a friend for a while, and a lot of people I knew him. But over the past maybe handful of years, my ex-husband's family really, like, adopted him. So he was at every family function, every holiday gathering, every festival, just like, but yeah, he was always the person that, like, when you saw him, like, you knew it was going to be a good time. And he was also, like, in addition to being, like, the funniest and the most fun and everything like that, he was, like, a safe space person, too. Like, you know me, like, I'm very socially awkward a lot of times and stuff, or I'll get overwhelmed. But, like, that, he's one of those people you can, like, gravitate to and, like, feel safe and, like, know that you can talk to and stuff. So it was really hard.
Yeah, it's interesting because so many people I know knew him. I've probably met him because so many people I know him, including you. But I did not know him.
Yeah.
But so many people I did. And he just, like, he touched so many lives, like, just around me that I know of. So I know what you mean by, I don't want to say light up the room, but I know what you mean by he touched a lot of lives. And a lot of people were very upset about this.
Yeah, I posted a video from his memorial, and I'm like, you have so many people to watch over now. Like, you're going to be busy.
For sure.
It's just so sad. So that was the first thing. And then the day after that, like, Zach and I broke up for good. Like, I know we've been very off and on. You guys are probably like, you guys broke up like last spring, right?
I know people are like, so are they together? Are they not together? Are they together? Are they not together? We're just like, who knows?
Very off and on. It
depends on the day.
Yeah, it was off and on over the course of like the 5.5 years we were together, but very off and on over the past year, like very, very much. So we broke up, and I mean, like, unfollowed on social media, which, like, we've never unfollowed each other before, even through our breakup. So
that's when you know it's serious.
Yeah. What else? I feel like I'm just like, that was so much. I need to, like, look at my camera roll and figure out, like, what day everything was.
Yeah. Well,
what was going on for you about that time, like 2 or so weeks ago?
Well, it's just been really busy and crazy. But then, like, there's other things that are, like, kind of not Well, okay, for me personally, I
Mhm.
had like a whole, it was like, and I didn't do this on purpose. It just happened this way, but I had like all these doctor's appointments this week.
Yeah.
And as you guys know how I feel about this, a blood draw.
Oh, no.
And I'm still reeling from it. It was on Monday, but my arm is all bruised from it.
Yeah.
And then I had like my gyno appointment, which those are never fun. Do you feel, is anybody else with me on this? I feel like gynecology is a little barbaric and a little like not with the times. Like it just feels like I don't know what else they can do. I don't know how to make it better, but I just feel like that thing they put inside you and open you up and like scraping you
And the
things
calipers
like
look so 1900.
yeah, it just seems like this is a little barbaric and a little bit like how are we not like more advanced than this now?
You know what I saw advertised on TikTok? It was like an OBGYN office that was like designed like a spa. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to go. But they don't, it's like nowhere near me in LA and
Oh.
it's like in Santa Monica or something. But that might be an interesting thing to try. I mean, I was like wanting to do it before I saw like how far away it was.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like women's medicine is just a little bit like I saw this, and probably because I just went to the gynecologist, but I saw this meme on Instagram the other day that said something about like, what if like when men were going through stuff, the answer was, well, you're just gonna have to deal with it, take an Advil or a Motrin or something, or we'll just rip out all your insides. Those are your two choices. Like it would not be okay, but like for women, those are kind of like the choices. Like we'll go in and like burn something off or like rip it out, or you can take an Advil and quit complaining.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with our systems. Guys kind of have it easier in that way.
Yeah, and they were just kind of making the contrast that if guys were going through all these different things, it would be better.
Streamlined.
Yeah, and there would be answers for everything. There would be, it would be taken care of. But for women, they're just like, well, deal with it.
Yeah, for anybody that has like business savvy and an expertise in obstetrics and gynecology, there's probably like a really big opportunity to be had to create a better experience. And clearly somebody's trying to do it, but like there's a space for that.
Yeah. It just reminds me too, I was thinking, and I know there are some places where they do this, but I think it's sort of weird that women go into like a hospital where people are sick and things like that to have babies. Like, I know you're in your separate wing and things like that, but it just seems like there should be like just birthing centers where that's what they do. Like you go there to have your baby and it's all just that.
Oh my God. And they could make it like a fun experience.
Yeah. Well, as fun as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
And maybe it's even where you get your, yearly exams or however often you have to go, like, and it's all just like women and like babies and you know what I mean? And it's not part of the hospital where people are having a heart attack in the next wing or like, whatever else it's surgeries or whatever's going on.
Yeah, somebody could probably start something like that in Beverly Hills and make so much fucking money because even giving birth at Cedars-Sinai compared to other places is a world of difference. Like they offer you like, what aromatherapy scent do you want? And you look at this suite and you can get like a special suite and you can get like special food and stuff like that.
See, I feel like it should be more like that for everybody. And it should be like, yeah, I don't know. I just thought, and then I had my cardiology appointment. Yes, I see a cardiologist. I have to go every 6 months. So it was just sort of like, that was a lot of stress for me. And I didn't even mean to put it all in 1 week. It just sort of fell in like that. And I was like, ugh.
How great to get it all done at once, though.
I know. The only thing I didn't fit in was my dentist appointment. That's like next week.
It was your health week.
It was.
I love health week.
But it is stressful.
What else is happening?
Oh, well, there's some big topics, but I don't know if you want me to throw those out yet.
Oh, I think we should get to that after we finish up like our weeks and stuff because the big topics just happened a couple days ago, right?
I know. Well, and you got a new car.
I did get a new car, which I'll talk about more in this episode because it's a car episode, which is another fun way. Like I've talked about before, how when I rewatch these episodes, like my real life starts to mirror, but luckily always in a positive way so far.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Even with this. That's so crazy.
It was Rainbow's birthday when all this was going on.
Oh
so we still haven't had our party yet. We're having it this weekend, but we had like a mom party day where I got her like a Squid Games cake, which she has never seen Squid Games, but she has a friend who likes it. So she thinks like all the characters are cool. I would not let her watch Squid Games because it's not appropriate, but she thinks like all the characters are cool. And I'm also taking the kids next weekend in Vegas. They have the Netflix Bites restaurant at MGM, and they serve like cute little Squid Games foods with like the little doll and stuff.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm excited about that. On a more fun note, last weekend I went to Power Slap, and it was really fun. And I took...
What's that?
Haven't you seen it online where people slap each other? It's like a new sport.
I have... Shut up. You went and saw that?
Yes.
I have seen people doing that. I'm just like, that is not for me.
It's actually fun in real life because all the contestants that come out like have a personality.
And you want to see them slapped?
No, not necessarily, but it just makes every match different. Like it differentiates it because everybody has like a personality.
So what happens? They go out on a stage and they just stand in front of each other and then you just slap each other?
Yeah. And they like work the crowd and stuff and like hype people up or talk trash or whatever they do.
That's so weird to me.
It was super fun. But even more fun was I took baby Roman to his first UFC match. And I say baby Roman because if any of you guys watched Holly's World back in the day, that was Angel's son who was a baby, a literal baby at the time. But he's 15 now. So I took him and his friend to his first fight and they had so much fun and met so many people and it was so fun.
Yeah. I only remember Roman when he was a baby.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So nuts.
It is crazy.
Kids just growing up too fast over here.
I have some fun things too. Remember Diana from the Vogel Victorian?
Yeah. I saw you doing a thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. She does like like paranormal tea parties.
Tell people
stuff.
what Vogel Victorian is for those who don't know.
So the Vogel Victorian is this Victorian house in Orange County, and Diana Vogel owns it, and she throws these Victorian tea parties that are incredible. And the house is also haunted, so she also throws a little paranormal in there and tells the ghost stories while you're doing the tea party. But she asked if I wanted to host one, so it's just like an intimate, like only 16 people, and we're gonna do like a meet and greet in the backyard, and then a tea party inside, and then we're gonna do like an investigation in like the carriage house.
Oh, that's so
like
fun because this is a really cool place, guys. We went for Krampus tea around Christmas time. It was on our Patreon. It's still on there. You guys want to see.
She does different themed ones. So she did like a Beetlejuice themed one. They've done like a Valentine's one. But this is going to be a Bridget themed one. It's just so one fun. Night and it's next month, but I'm excited for it.
Oh, you'll have to post lots of pictures and stuff or have somebody take a video.
I know. I kind of want Nick to come and like do video or like take pictures.
Yeah, because you're going to regret it if you don't have like footage from that.
I think so too. So I'm excited for it. And then we've been to a couple Kings games in the last 2 weeks too.
Fun.
Yeah, we went last week.
I saw your jacket and I came in a Raiders jacket and you have the Kings jacket and they're kind of like twinsy.
They are.
So the other weird things that have been happening, and we talked about this more on our last slumber party on Patreon. So if you guys want to hear like the in-depth on that, go to our Patreon. But a couple true crime cases hit kind of close to home.
Yes.
The first one involved the owners of Trashy Lingerie.
I was blown away when I saw that. I was like, what the heck? I had to text you right away and be like, did you hear?
But the other true crime case
is really close to home.
Yeah. So you guys have probably heard that Victoria Goodwin, who was married to Aaron Goodwin from Ghost Adventures and was somebody that like we have hung out with and done stuff with. Like I went to their wedding. She allegedly hired a hitman to kill her husband, which luckily didn't go off, didn't happen. But that's a wild ride.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So we go into more depth on all of that on our Patreon. But yeah, it's been crazy. Oh, and upcoming is my grandma's 106th birthday. You guys, 106.
Damn, she's the Energizer Bunny.
And she's totally fine.
That's crazy.
And she got pneumonia twice this year and recovered.
Whoa.
Well, the first time she got pneumonia, I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. That's how people go. Nope. Yeah. She recovered. Then she got it again.
Superhuman.
And recovered.
We need her health advice.
I don't think you would want it. I don't know how the weather is for you guys right now, but it is beautiful here in LA. It's sunny, slight little breeze, around high 70s, 80 degrees. I mean, spring is in the air. But you know what's not in the air at my house? Litter box stink. That's because we use Pretty Litter and it obliterates odors. So we can enjoy our cuddly kitties and the wonderful sense of spring. So what is Pretty Litter, you might ask? First of all, it's non-clumping. Plus, it's lightweight, so no more lugging around these big, heavy boxes or tubs of kitty litter. It's low dust, which I really appreciate, and one 6-pound bag works for up to a month. And get this, you guys, Pretty Litter changes color to indicate early signs of potential illness in my cats, like urinary tract infections, kidney issues, and more. And as if that wasn't enough perks, Pretty Litter ships right to my door. It's made a big difference in my life, from being lightweight to low dust and not having to scoop as much. Plus, not having to go to the store to get it or having to worry about running out. It gives me peace of mind in so many different ways. Pretty Litter helps keep my house smelling fresh and clean. Try and you'll love it. Go to prettylitter.com/nextlevel to save 20% off on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/nextlevel to save 20% off on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/nextlevel. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
So should we get into the episode?
Yes.
So this is Dangerous Curves. And we are in the doldrums of season 3 because the last episode, Training Days, and then Dangerous Curves, in my opinion, are my least favorite episodes of season 3. How do you feel about it?
I haven't finished watching season 3, so I don't want to make any judgments on which my least and best favorites or whatever are.
Uh-huh.
But I think the reason you don't like these two specifically is because they're very Kendra heavy, both of them.
They are, and they're like Frankenstein episodes, and
yes,
they don't flow very well.
Yeah.
And I'm not into it.
Right.
Yeah. So this episode, Dangerous Curves, first aired on August 19th, 2007. The #1 movie in the country was Superbad. Maybe our little promotion the previous week had something to do with it.
It was the radio show.
Oh, totally. Introduced everybody to McLovin. And the top song was still Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston. And when we were filming this, we just got done doing, in real life, in 2007 time, we just got done doing the Playboy Golf Scramble, which I think was the first year that we went, because we'd always seen the playmates who worked the golf scramble in their cute little outfits. And I think the year before we even asked for the outfit, it was a black polo top and a gray and pink skirt.
Why do I feel like we went one year and then the next year we went with your golf carts?
We might have done that, or maybe you went and I just saw the outfits. We definitely loved the outfits and liked the idea of it. And then in 2007, we went with the golf cart. Kendra went and played a little bit and we filmed it, but you guys won't see it until season 4. They just sat on the footage for some reason.
And we also, I also did interviews while I was there for Playboy Radio.
It's interesting that they sat on the golf episode until next season, because I feel like the golf episode is better than Training Days.
Yeah.
They were just, but I think Kevin had such a hard on for those type of scenes, oh, let's have Kendra take a I Love Lucy style fake etiquette class. He just thought that was so good that he probably thought that was better than Golf Scramble.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it starts out, the pool, the waterfall, the pink flamingos, the parrots. They show Spot. Another Day in Paradise is what they're trying to make it feel like.
And we know we're opening with Kendra because they have that hip hop music playing or that.
And there's a knock at the door. Hef walks in. And I know she already knew about this.
Yeah, this is a fake scene where they're just staging it for the audience. And then Kendra's dogs are barking and Hef fucking barks again.
I put that in my notes.
It's the weirdest thing. I never noticed him doing that. I never noticed that being a gag or something he thought was funny. But since this rewatch, he barks on The View. This is the 3rd time he's barked on the show. I'm how is this a thing?
But in real life, I don't feel like that was happening all the time, but it is.
I never noticed it. But I'm he just loves an excuse to bark.
Yeah, and then somebody pointed out that he also did it on remember that little documentary thing that he did with the original 7? Oh, maybe that's a good slumber party.
Oh my God.
Watch that and comment.
We probably should. Yeah.
We should do MTV Cribs too.
Yeah.
That would be fun. But anyway, that was right when that song Who Let the Dogs Out was super popular. And I'm wondering if that was such a thing at that time. And maybe it's just one of those things he kind of carried over.
And just realized he loved barking when he was making fun of that song.
Yeah.
Because I do remember hearing him talk about that song and making fun of it. Oh my God, this kind of in a, oh my God, the state of music today. They're like barking in a song. What is this? You
But I
know?
guess he there's a reference to it in that, somebody said. And he barks in it. So anyway, Hef comes in. He's telling Kendra that she has been asked to be in the Grand Prix race.
And the giveaway that this is like set up and she already knows about it and it's already planned is that Hef would never take his time to do a scene that he thought wasn't going to be used. Because he walks into her room and he's asking her, how would you like to drive a race car? But obviously he already knew she was signed up because he's not going to take the time to record something and just float an idea that may never make it. He's only filming stuff that he knows is going to either make the cut or has a chance to make the cut.
Yeah, because if she was like, "Oh no, I don't want to do that," he's not gonna.
Yeah, he's not gonna do a scene for that.
And he tells her that it's the Toyota Celebrity Grand Prix, and she'll be one of 14 drivers in the race. And there's celebrities in it, like George Lucas is one of the drivers. And they do a funny Star Wars graphic.
Yeah, they do a really cute Star Wars graphic with the like Luke Skywalker Tatooine land speeder thing. And then R2-D2 gets like thrown out. It's really cute.
Yeah.
Would you drive a race car ever?
Do you know that show Top Gear?
Mm-hmm.
So I was on that one time, and they have you like sit for like 5 minutes with a instructor, and then they have you drive a car on a racetrack, and they time it, and then you're like supposed to. I came in last place.
Oh no! Oh no!
It was stick, and I have not driven stick. I learned to drive on stick. We had this old farm truck. It was named Chewy, and I should have asked my stepdad what it was, like what year and like what type of truck.
Yeah.
But it was called 3 on the Tree. It was like on the column.
That's like the Playmate of the Year car that Daylene got, and she was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I feel like I might have talked about this when we were talking about that too. Yeah,
no,
I didn't mention it.
Maybe briefly.
So it was on the column, but it still has a clutch and everything. So I learned out on the country roads in this old beat up pickup truck with the column thing. But since then, I have not driven stick at all since. My Porsche had like the Tiptronic where you could do it with your finger, which was sort of fun, and I would play around with that every once in a while. But I am an automatic girl all the way.
Yeah, I learned to drive stick, as you guys know, because I wanted to drive Hef's car, which was a stick. And Audra.
That's right, it was.
Yeah, and Audra was nice enough to let me drive her BMW. So I was like learning stick on like the quiet streets of Beverly Hills, driving by the witch's house and things like that. So the Long Beach Grand Prix, we had actually been to the year before, and I think it ended up as a deleted scene in season 2. It was like the day after Hef's 80th birthday party, after you'd done the striptease, after I was in peacock outfit, I went with the same hair the next morning.
I had same hair too.
Yeah, you actually see a throwback Continuity is for Pussies clip of it here. But we'd been before, and then we were going again to watch Kendra as a participant.
Yeah.
And then Hef is like, oh, well, we're going to go be grand marshals, which is another clue that we already knew we were going to do this. This isn't a scene where he's genuinely walking in asking Kendra if she's wants to race a car.
I also wanted to comment on how all our opportunities, this is just an example, like come through Hef and Playboy.
That's true.
It really
like it was all filtered through. But do you think all of Kendra's really were?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not at this point anymore. But I just thought that it was so interesting how like here's this opportunity. And it's not coming through her. It's not coming through her manager or her agent. It's going through Playboy and Hef. Yeah. And so many, almost, well, for you and I, pretty much like 100% of our stuff all came through Playboy. Yeah. But with Kendra, and the schedule is crazy. And even in commentary, it's getting crazy. She's like, oh, I just got back like filming scenes, and I'll point them out. I just got back that morning from Vegas. And, oh, I was gone that weekend. Every weekend, she's like gone doing club appearances. When I look at the schedules, and even when we're doing commentary, she's commenting on it, how she was gone and doing this appearance and that appearance and stuff. Like she is just like getting all these opportunities and making so much bank.
That's wild when you think about it. Like I think at the time I didn't care because I always thought, well, ideally, everybody's going to leave anyway. But when I think back on it, just like the amount of money she had, I don't know what she did with it, but had the potential to bank that we weren't getting is crazy.
Yeah, I know it bothered me because I'm like, why can't I be doing this too then? Like, I was super
it's
like,
definitely not fair.
I need to start doing this. And I do start doing it, but like it's slower. And I only get allowed to do it because how can they keep telling me no if they're letting Kendra do all of these?
But they do tell you no sometimes for sometimes the exact same thing. Like if Kendra went and did an appearance one weekend and you got the same club offer the next weekend, they're like, no.
Remember the Vegas one?
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, look, I know I'm not the healthiest eater out there, but I do try and incorporate healthy meals into my lifestyle. And it was one of my goals for this year to add more healthy meals to my lifestyle. But sometimes I still wonder, like, am I nutrient deficient? 90% of Americans are nutrient deficient. And that is a shocking number. A lot of the supplements that people try and use to remedy this are full of synthetic ingredients and artificial sweeteners. But GEM is the first real food multivitamin formulated with ingredients our bodies were built to absorb and free from synthetic ingredients. GEM is on a mission to make food as medicine real through bite-sized nutrition solutions that are simple and delightful to digest.
You guys know my supplement routine is crazy, so I love that I have found something I can take and it's a delicious bite and not yet another horse pill that I have to stand there and swallow. Right now, I am loving the Eat Your Calm Chill Out Magnesium Bites. They're made with dates, bananas, and all kinds of great ingredients, and they taste fantastic. GEM's Daily Bite is a functional daily multivitamin formulated for proper absorption, packed with 20 plus nutrients, prebiotics, and probiotics, all in one delicious real food bite for foundational health. It contains beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that can help increase GLP-1 levels. Backed by science, they formulate with nourishing ingredients that are individually backed by clinical and scientific studies to ensure your body gets exactly what it needs every single day. If you want to give the first real food vitamin a try, head to dailygem.com/nextlevel or enter next level at checkout for 30% off your first order. That's dailygem.com/nextlevel or enter next level at checkout for 30% off. So the next scene is we come back from the cold open and I'm walking down to Mary's office and she asks, what's going on with me? And I just have to say my whole plot line for this episode is so cringe and I hate it. And I think it's the lamest thing I've done on this show so far. So I'm just going to preface with that. And I tell her that Allison, meaning Allison Waite, the playmate, and I are going to look at Priuses. And a Prius was like kind of new back then, or at least it was like newly popular. So it was very novel to kind of like get an electric or hybrid car back then. And it's funny, I noticed, I sent you a picture when I was watching this of the screen because I go, it's weird in this scene. I feel like I look like myself now. I don't look like Girls Next Door Holly. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
Like, because I have like straighter, longer hair and like the makeup is more like how I would wear it now. I was like, this is my time traveler scene. I think I went back and did this.
That's funny. Did you notice that there's the Hef smoking jacket, the Playboy costume version of it hanging on the door?
Yeah. And it's interesting because when the costume line wanted to do that, I think I either suggested it or was like pushing for it or something. And Hef didn't want to do that. He said it was like ersatz or whatever. And I was like, well, but people dress up as you all the time anyway. So you might as well like make a nice version and like make money off of it.
Yeah.
And I did. And
yeah. And they still do. Even this last Halloween, there was like 3 or 4 Hefs at the club.
Right. And I talk about how I drove a Cayenne, but it was too big because I was driving to work in Santa Monica every day. I would take whatever playmate we were shooting. We'd drive to work together. We'd always like stop at the Starbucks to get coffees and snacks and stuff on the way. And the thing about like the west side of LA, particularly Santa Monica, is it's very crowded. There was no like drive-through Starbucks at the time. And this was back before they had like Postmates or Instacart or anything like that. So it's like, I didn't have an assistant at the studio. So it's like, get your own stuff. And all the parking spaces are so tiny. And a Cayenne isn't even like a giant SUV. It's kind of a smaller SUV. But I'd get into these parking spaces and it'd be the type of thing where you open your door and you have to like suck in and like squeeze yourself out kind of a thing, if even that. And like the girl on the other side has to like get out and do the same thing or sometimes wait in the car and I'd go order it. And it was just like, it wasn't cute or fun. And I started thinking, you know what would be nice is if I just had like a no frills, little car that I can drive around and not be recognized. Not that I was getting chased by the paparazzi or anything like that, but still, I just wanted something like low key, tiny, utilitarian. And another thing I liked about the Prius too is they were tiny cars, but they actually have like a lot of trunk space. Like you could bring a lot of, like if I needed to bring a lot of clothes or something for a wardrobe or bring stuff with me. So it was really just such a perfect car for work. And I didn't really care about it being fuel efficient, but I say that in talking to Mary, I think it's just
because it's not like you had a super long commute.
no, like I didn't care about that at all. It was more about the size of the car and just wanting something like low key, not noticeable, practical. But for some reason, I don't know if I felt like I needed more things to talk about, or it was really like a buzzy thing to talk about at the time. Like, oh, these fuel efficient hybrid cars.
Yeah. And then we were talking in commentary too that Seth Green had a car that was running on vegetable oil.
I think I vaguely remember that. That's so funny.
Yeah. And then you say to Mary you want to pimp it out.
Yeah, which I didn't really want to do, but I think I felt like I needed something to like do for the show if we're going to cover this.
Oh.
Because what I really wanted was something low-key that nobody was going to notice. Just like a plain white budget car. But I think I just wanted kind of something to do for the episode. So like, let's see what they can do, or like, let's see what's cute. And it's funny because like I said before, it's like my real life mirroring what we watch. I just happened to get a new car this week because the lease on one of my Range Rovers was up. So I bought a new one and I got it and I'm in love with it. It's a little bit longer than what I had, and the back seats like recline all the way and they have footrests. So like if I take the kids on a road trip, they can just sleep. It has the TVs in the back, which they love. And it has, which I'm so excited about, because I rented a car recently for something and it was just like a mid-level SUV, like a Chevy or something. But the screen display was so much better than what the Range Rover had 3 years ago, because my lease was a new car 3 years ago. And where you plug your phone in and like the Waze comes up and the music comes up, and it's just like the most recent Range Rover I had didn't even have that. And I was like, oh, like this is nice. But the Range Rover I got now, it has like the big Tesla style screen and all the stuff comes up, and I haven't even learned how to do it all yet, but I'm so excited about it.
And so you talk about you're getting your Prius and Bridget's getting rims on her car. And then it shows me driving, which is an old scene. It's actually a scene from me going to look at your golf cart.
Oh, also, I wanted to ask you too, because it's the previous season, we see you go to George Baris's and order the rims. So how long did it really take you to get these?
Oh, it did take a while.
Okay.
But I don't remember exactly how long, but there was a significant time where they were working on them.
Yeah.
Because they're fully custom. I mean, and it's not just like a little emblem that gets like snapped in. It's like, it's
to like carve out the whole thing.
Yeah, it's made that way. Like they were amazing.
They were really cute. They turned out really good.
So I go to Baris Customs, so George Baris.
And he's lower thirded as the custom car king. Ooh, is it all 3 Ks? Do they spell it all with a K?
The custom cars, they do, but I've never heard them called the King before for it to be KKK.
I know. Well, I have it written out here, Custom Car King, and I have the car C, but I'm like, how did they have it on there?
I don't know if they used, oh no, custom was a K.
Okay.
Car, shoot, I'm not sure. Car might have been a C.
They probably wanted to put it a C if he's going to be known as that.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't remember seeing ever any 3 Ks on there at all. But yeah, so as you guys know, George Baris, I think
is
you guys
the king
know
of having his dick out at parties.
that too. But he's known for all these like custom cars that he does. He did the Batmobile and the whatchamacallit for the
Munsters coach.
Munsters coach.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a name for it, right? The
Munsters coach?
Isn't there another name for it?
It was called like the Munsters coach, and coach was with a K.
Oh.
I could be wrong. I'm not a Munsters expert.
Yeah, I'm not either, but it's
what?
Well, I don't think I'm
a Munsters
I don't think I'm an expert. Well, we grew up around Kevin.
I know.
So,
he's the king of I need to bring in that playing card I have. He gave me a whole book.
Yeah.
It's like a binder of Munsters collector's cards. And it's just like scenes from the Munsters and stuff. But there's one card they made featuring a Munsters fan. And it was Kevin as a young man seated on the floor, and he's surrounded by all his Munsters merch. It's so cool.
You guys, he had this little attic in his house, and he would take you up there, and the whole attic was Munster stuff. And it was perfectly.
It was like a store.
Yeah, everything was perfectly placed. Like there'd be like 3 Munsters games and every little bobblehead and every little, I mean, everything Munsters. And it was just perfect up there.
I remember being at his office one day, and he was showing me a check he was writing for some piece of Munsters memorabilia he bought online. I forget the amount, but it was like a crazy amount of money. And I go, holy shit, that must be a really rare item. And he goes, no, I have 3. Well, I think rare item because it was so expensive, but like not rare for him.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And then one Christmas, it was from Hef, but Kevin gave him a bunch of the Munsters collectibles to give to me.
Oh, cute.
And I like the Munsters, but I've never been like a Munsters fanatic. I was a little more into the Addams Family than I was Munsters.
Yeah.
So I would say that if I watched something, it was more Addams Family than that. But I still like the Munsters, of course. It's totally my aesthetic. But I'm definitely more an Addams Family person.
That makes sense.
Anyway,
so you come to his place wearing the Playboy spinner purse that Dolls Kill copied.
Right. And I have the spinner belt on. I know we all have a lot of apps on our phone, but did you know that one of the smartest apps you can have on your phone in 2025 is Upside? Upside gives you the power to earn more on the stuff you buy all the time. Whether you're filling up your tank, going out to eat, or shopping for groceries, the Upside app lets you earn cash back on every purchase. Upside users are making as much as $280 a year. The Upside app is so easy to use, and I like to use it anytime I'm at the grocery store. And with the money I save, I definitely pocket that right into my high-yield savings account. I mean, how can you go wrong? The Upside app is free, plus you get cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. To get started, you just download the free Upside app, use my promo code NEXTLEVEL, and get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Next, you claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Then pay as usual with a credit or debit card, and then follow the steps in the app and get paid. There are over 100,000 gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants on the Upside app, ensuring that cash back is always just around the corner.
Download the free Upside app and use promo code NEXTLEVEL to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code NEXTLEVEL.
I arrive in a limo, which I think is interesting, but I think it's because my car had to be there already.
Right.
So they brought me in the limo. But we're there to do a photo shoot for Lexani magazine and to present me the wheels on the show. And that was a really fun day. It was really quick, too. Like, we did some in the outfit, and then I changed into a black bunny costume.
Which this is one of my all-time favorite looks on you. I think you look so gorgeous in this scene. Like, it's so, like, in the black bunny costume.
I really like myself in the black bunny costume better than the pink one.
Like, I know pink is your color, so I understand why you want it, but pastels are hard to wear, I think. I think they wash almost everyone out, and black is just like a pop.
Yeah.
And especially wearing it next to the red car, it looks really amazing.
Well, and that's why I did it. I thought a pink one wouldn't look good next to the red car, so I borrowed the black one. But I do like myself in the black better than the pink. It makes me wish that I got a black one.
And your hair looks great and all the things.
Thank you. I see Steven's with me. So that was Steven Molesky, Kendra's makeup artist, if you guys don't remember, came with to do my hair and makeup. And
then when you see the rims, you go, oh, they're subtle. Were you afraid they would look gaudy?
Well, I was because there were different mock-ups of it, and there were some that it was really big bunny in it, like it was just like screamed, and I was like, no, I don't even want people to necessarily notice. I want it to be something that when you're like really looking at the car and you're like, oh my God, as an after thing, but not like can see it driving down the street. So I wanted them to be small, and I really wanted the red rhinestone eye on them, and they were perfect.
So cute.
And subtle, which, yes, this is exactly what I wanted on them. And I didn't want the bunny to be a separate piece because I was afraid people would steal it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because I remember when I was younger, and this is probably totally dating myself if you don't remember this, but there was a thing where people used to want to wear the Mercedes emblem on a chain.
I remember that.
And people were ripping them off of people's Mercedes cars.
Whoa.
Like, because it used to stand up on the end of the hood. They would like rip them off.
Yeah. That's why the Rolls Royce thing like disappears into the car now. People used to steal the statue.
Yes, exactly. And then they'd wear them on a chain. So
Just
yeah,
thievery.
I didn't want to have to deal with that. So it's all one piece. And I think that takes longer to do it that way because they have to be molded that way.
And then they have you say something talk about a rim job.
Oh, yeah.
What is a rim job? Licking asshole?
Yeah.
I've never licked an asshole.
It's funny too because we are talking about it in commentary, and you asked everybody, or does Kendra ask? Somebody asked everybody out there. Does everybody out there? And we're talking about Kevin and Scott and the field producers and the lawyer and all that stuff. Does everybody out there know what a rim job is?
I wasn't even sure until I rewatched this because I picture a couple different things. Like you could have asked me what a rim job was last week and I would have thought it was just like licking the end of a dick when you're giving a blowjob or something. Like it sounds like it could be that, but I guess officially it's licking asshole.
Yeah. And then in commentary
Awkward
too.
Silence.
I know. I'm like, so I don't know where we want to go with that one, but in commentary, I'm also talking about that I'm already getting like the people following me. And you're like, oh, tell the story about the garage because this car like flipped around on Wilshire Boulevard and followed me all the way into a parking garage and then
desperate,
like wanted photos and stuff. And it happened like multiple times and it continues to happen for the next basically 5 years until I sell the car.
Whoa. Maybe that was one of my inspos for getting the low-key Prius, is like hearing your story. Because were you getting it in the Mercedes too with the
No.
bunny? Oh, really?
It was specifically the Porsche that I get on the show that people were like, yeah. So anyway, we're doing the photo shoot. Like I said, it's for Lexani magazine. They were really cool to work with. And I actually got a 5-page spread in their magazine.
Oh, cute. You'll have to post that on
the cover. And I did. I put it on Patreon, so that'll be posting. And did you notice in this interview, I'm sitting like Indian style, cross-legged, like all cash and stuff.
Yeah.
And they usually don't. They usually cut it off, but I think the camera was just back a little too far.
That's interesting.
But I thought that was interesting too. Like I'm just getting all, because my interviews, I don't know about yours, but my interviews were so long, 2-3 hours.
Mine weren't. I was the opposite. I was like a robot. I would spit back whatever they wanted me to say and get the fuck out of there. And everybody was always excited, I think, because the crew just didn't want to spend that much time. So they're like, oh, great. But it's not great for the show, really.
Yeah.
So then we cut to Kendra's first race car scene, and she's
Before, can I bring up one more thing you said in commentary? So in commentary, you say that Lacey is going to get me because I was wearing earrings with the bunny costume. So I feel like you should talk about that.
Well, I completely forgot about that. Like that you
can't wear jewelry.
You can't wear any jewelry, which makes sense. But I forgot that you couldn't even wear like a stud earring. And I think that's just so, like, obviously, if you're wearing cuffs and collars, you're not going to be wearing anything on your wrists or your neck. But they probably just don't want any, like, you know, discrepancy or like outside personality coming through whatever you would choose for an earring. But I forgot about that. Like, if you would have asked me a week ago, could you wear like a tiny pearl earring with a bunny costume? Oh, yeah, as long as it's not, you know, I would have forgot that. But that's true. And you know, I've just been talking to several people who were affiliated with Playboy back in the day about like what Playboy now was doing with the bunny costume, like at the Super Bowl party. And people are like, I can hear Pat Lacey flipping out right now. You can also hear me flipping out if you listen to like a couple episodes ago, or a couple slumber parties ago, or wherever we talked about it.
Well, it's interesting too, because you say that Pat Lacey said that you're not allowed to wear jewelry because every jewelry piece tells a story. And that's too much information to give somebody.
That's true. You don't want.
So interesting. Like I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
But it's true. Every piece of jewelry there's a story behind it.
It really does.
It may be like a dumb story, like, oh, I just got this cheap off of Temu or something. Yeah. But like there's a story, there's something why you picked it and why you're wearing it with that outfit. And like,
Yeah, or like, I'm really classy because I wear these, or I'm really trashy because I wear this, you know? It's like it insinuates something.
Yeah, and then, like, the earrings, like, for me, it was just because I was doing a quick
Mhm.
change, so I just didn't even
Yeah.
think about the earrings. Just, like, hurry up and get the bunny costume on and throw these ears on and
Mhm.
do another, thing, but, like, if you're, like, working in the clubs or something like that, like, your earrings or a wedding ring or anything
Yeah.
like that, like, tells a whole story about you.
Interesting.
The whole rim job line, though, that was, like, fed to me. Like, I
I
wasn't
figured. It
like,
kinda seems like it.
it's not something I would have come up with and
Yeah.
just said, but they, like, told me to say it.
I feel like I would have come up with that and said it.
I think it's definitely something more you or Kendra would have said. It's
Yeah.
definitely not something I would have said, except when they feed me the line and I
Yeah.
say it. I've told you guys already that one of my goals this year is to have healthy hair. And I've been taking vitamins and I've been using the hair laser. But let me let you in on a little secret. Using the right pillowcase can also help your hair from breaking, plus help prevent skin blemishes and wrinkles. We all gotta love that. I am achieving my goals with Blissy's Silk. People have reported seeing healthier skin and hair in just weeks, and it's better than satin. Satins are made from synthetics that are rough on your hair and skin, and they're cheap for a reason. Plus, the anti aging properties, reducing fine lines and wrinkles over time, eliminating frizz. Oh, that is definitely something I need help with. Preserves hairstyles, another thing that I love because I don't like to wash my hair every day.
Not only are the Blissy pillowcases gorgeous and super comfortable and super soft, but they help me wake up with smoother skin, less messy hair. It honestly makes getting ready in the morning so much easier. Not only that, but the pillows are antibacterial and hypoallergenic. They're naturally cooling and breathable, and they promote better sleep. This was voted the most loved gift of 2024 for a reason. Because you're a listener, Blissy is offering 60 nights risk-free plus an additional 30% off when you shop at blissy.com/girlsnextlevel. That's blissy.com/girlsnextlevel and use code girlsnextlevel to get an additional 30% off. Your skin and hair will thank you. And then we cut to Kendra. She's at her first racetrack class. She's at the racetrack, but they're in a room actually taking like classroom classes, like almost like a driver's ed type of a thing. And they have a whiteboard with like a drawing of the whole track and everything like that.
She's at the Willow Springs Speedway. Do you know where that is? I was going to look it up
No.
before. Me neither, because I know that on the schedule, it says that she was staying out of town for these like practices and stuff.
You know what? I'd have to look that up to be sure, but it rings a bell. And that might have been a place where we shot some stuff for Playboy Studio. Because I remember there was a Playmate where we did a whole, like, she loved race cars. So we did a whole like race car theme and we shot some stuff out on the track. So that might have been where we shot that.
Yeah.
It does sound familiar, but I can't be positive. And then I feel like they could have helped Kendra out a little more in her confessional with the celebrity names, because you can tell she doesn't know. And like she talks about Martina Navratilova, but kind of stumbles over her name. And then she says, and then Robin, meaning Robin Quivers from Howard Stern. And they're lower thirding these people. And then she goes, hot boy Josh, about Josh Morrow. But I feel like they could have, in the confessional, helped her out with the names, because they would do that. Like if they wanted me to list people off, they'd be like, oh, this person, and this person.
Yeah.
It's weird. It seems like they're slacking a little bit with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then she says she's a visual learner, but I don't think that's what she means, because it is visual. Like it's written out on or drawn out on the whiteboard. I think she means like experiential, not visual.
Yeah, she needs to be in the car.
Yeah,
and
hands-on.
Yeah. So then they're finally in the cars and she's kind of like messing things up and stuff. And he tells her to like press the gas and she hits the brake and she goes to start the car and stalls it and stuff. So they're already setting it up like that. And in commentary, and I totally forgot about this until we were talking about in commentary, Kendra was talking about how she thought she was getting punked and that she had a punked phobia. And do you remember that? Every time we would go somewhere and do something, she'd be like, are we being punked? Are we being punked right now? It was constant, you guys. She always thought this. And like when we did the Nickelback video, she's like, I think we're being punked.
Yeah.
And then we filmed General Hospital. She's like, we're being punked right now, you guys.
I think she secretly wanted to be punked because it was like always top of mind. And you guys, obviously, I'm sure you know, if you know what Girls Next Door is, you know what punked is. But just in case anybody doesn't know, this was a show on MTV in the 2000s hosted by Ashton Kutcher where they would prank celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see, this wasn't punked, but it was like Paris Hilton was like in the Middle East somewhere and she was on a small private plane for some like promotion or something. And they faked that the plane was crashing and they have video of it. And everybody on the plane is like crying, hysterical, think they're going to die. And it was a prank. That's not funny.
No, but that is not funny.
Terrifying. And I feel like if that would have happened in the United States, you could probably like sue because that would give somebody a heart attack. Like they made it seem like the plane was crashing. And she's like legitimately, and everybody on the plane is legitimately hysterical and crying and grabbing onto each other and like thinking they're going to die.
Holy
And this was like broadcast
shit.
everywhere. I know.
No,
I'm just assuming that whoever pulled this off is some like super rich Saudi that you couldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. So you just have to suck it up and be like, okay, I'm going to take an L on that one.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. So the next scene, you're driving with Allison, and I forgot about this too. Poor Allison, and it looks so weird on camera. Poor Allison sitting in the back seat, you're in the front seat, because the cameraman has to sit in the passenger seat so he can get Holly and Allison,
Mhm.
but it looks so unnatural.
Yeah,
And
like
here's
I'm a
Allison
chauffeur.
like trying to like look
Yeah.
over and talk to you, and it's just so weird.
Oh, so this scene is intentionally funny from the editor's perspective, not from our perspective. What we're talking about, Allison and I, is we're talking about how hard it is to diet or eat healthy at the mansion because temptation is there all the time. Like every day is a special occasion. It's either somebody's birthday or you're going to an amusement park or there's some special event. So that's what we mean. But they cut off the first part of the conversation. So it just sounds like I'm bitching about things being good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what sucks about the mansion is that every day is a holiday. Like it's somebody's birthday or we're trying the latest restaurant or we're going here. And it just sounds so out of touch and crazy. But what I was trying to say is that food is tempting all the time because you never have like a normal day.
Right.
It's always like somebody's birthday cake or you're out at the hottest restaurant or something. So there's just all this temptation everywhere.
Yeah, but they cut all that off and then they have Allison going, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
As if your life is so rough.
Yeah. And I think a quote is like, you know what sucks about our lifestyle in general is like every day is a celebration.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, that's not always good.
Yeah. Everyone thought Toyota sponsored this episode, but they didn't.
They didn't, but it is. And I think it's more of a coincidence that it's the Toyota Grand Prix and you're getting a Toyota.
Oh, I didn't even put two and two together. Like, obviously, I knew the theme of this episode was cars, but I didn't get the whole Toyota connection.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
grab that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think that when you go to the dealership, that's the owner of the dealership that you're dealing
really?
with. Yeah,
He seems so low key.
Well, I don't know for sure, but his name is Mike Sullivan, and I feel like it was Sullivan Toyota
Oh.
in Santa Monica there.
You know what? If you own a lot of car dealerships, you're fucking rich. Because Daylene married this guy.
Yes.
What's his name again?
Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, because he owns all these dealerships in Southern California. I think even one in Vegas. And anyway, she married this guy who's fucking loaded.
Fletcher Jones.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you want to be successful in the car dealership world, that's a good way to make money.
And then you tell him you like white cars, and he said he already knew.
You know, I think this whole scene and plotline of me getting the car is so boring and so cringe. But the one thing I value about it, and this is probably just me because it's kind of like a special interest of mine, like my favorite form of anthropology is just like over the decades, like the subtle changes in society and the way we look at things and the way we do things. And it just kind of captures this little moment in time of when like electric or hybrid cars were super novel. And even little things like this wasn't specific to electric cars, but the salesman is like, oh, it has the navigation system that you asked for. Because it's so crazy to think that even like 15 years ago, it wasn't standard to have a navigation system in your car. Like people were still like printing out MapQuest.
Oh, I
We
have
didn't
them
have
in my
smartphone.
scrapbook, like
Yeah.
MapQuest directions to places we were going.
And then you could get like this thing called a TomTom that would like attach to your car that was
Yes.
just for navigation systems. But we didn't have smartphones back then. It was like super novel and like luxe if you're getting like a navigational system in your car.
And yours spoke French.
Oh, yeah. You could do like the different languages. I thought, oh, this is such a good study aid.
Yeah.
And it was also very novel to drive a car that didn't make any noise. And I remember there's this guy, Mickey, who worked at the mansion. You can see him in the pilot episode for Girls Next Door. He did like a lot of like the party stuff and the floral arrangements and things like that. And I remember I scared him so bad because he was like walking in that archway and I drove right up behind him. And the electric cars or the hybrid cars don't make any noise like a normal car does. So I snuck up behind him and then I honked my horn and but it was like so novel back then. So that to me, this is the only value this scene has is like it captures those little differences that I think are interesting. Maybe nobody else does. But my other note I made is this is just boring to me. Like I'm in the scene and it's fucking boring to me.
Well, I think it's funny. He's like, yeah, he's talking about it being fuel efficient and stuff. And he's like, and more and more people are buying these cars and it's starting to make a difference like in the world and stuff, you know? And you're like, and then they cut you to say, I just want a car that fits in the Starbucks parking lot.
Which, okay, I hate this part so bad because Kevin very famously thought that I was the least funny person on the planet, which I'm not going to disagree with him. But I know what he's thinking with this edit. So I just said, I just want a car that fits in the Starbucks parking lot, which was so true. Like there were a lot of reasons I wanted this car, but that was one of the main ones is the bigger cars in Santa Monica parking lots just were not practical. I stopped at Starbucks every fucking day. But the way Kevin plays this out is I think he thinks I'm trying to make a joke. So he does this dun-dun-dun. And then looks back at the guy like, oh my God, this girl is just dropping these stinker jokes, which he did to me in the Chicago episode. Remember, we were at the radio station and I say a joke that was like here nor there, kind of funny, not hilarious, but he made it land in the edit like it was so unfunny. Kendra says a joke that's on the same par, kind of funny, not hilarious, but they make it seem like everybody's dying laughing.
Put a laugh track.
And then later in the episode, Hef drops the absolute biggest fucking stinker of a joke that makes no sense and just it's not noticed or played off in any way. But Kevin's always picking on me like I'm so fucking unfunny and always trying to be funny. And it just annoys me so bad. So that's like my least favorite part of the scene. Also, another thing that was novel about electric cars at the time is they feel like they die. Which I talk about in this scene is like compared to like a normal gas car, like they feel like they die every time he stops.
Like they shut off,
So that was like so novel at the time. And then the scene wraps up and they button it up with a beep beep sound effect. And then this funny soundbite of the salesman going, yeah, but it like sounds weird. And that's kind of my halfway point of this episode.
I have a couple things in commentary that we say here. In commentary, so it's like, months later. I don't know. We're not sure how many months later on this one, but you say you still fucking love that car. It's incognito. It fits in Starbucks and it's fun to drive. And then Kendra starts talking about how she starts complaining about how notes keep getting left on her car all the time. But I'm like, how? Her car was not like distinguishable.
Like notes for her?
Yeah.
Did she have like something custom done to the car that people would have noticed?
Not that I remember.
My first thought when you said notes were left for her is that like, when you do like a real idiot parking job and somebody will leave a note like, fuck you, fucking learn to park. Like I thought you meant like that.
Well, she didn't specify what they said.
Maybe that's what it was. Because obviously like it's showcased on the show that she has a black Escalade quite a bit, but a lot of people have
Yeah, there's a million
Escalades.
of those in LA, especially back then.
Like I don't think she had a custom plate or anything.
No. I don't think so. So that's interesting, and that just reminded me, do you remember that there used to be, it was like a gag thing, but I just thought they were so funny. It looked like a parking ticket, but it's personal and you put it on there like you parked like an asshole and you could make a check
I've never seen that.
And leave it on people's cars and it came in a whole pad of them.
I have never seen that. That's funny though. I'd fall for that. I'd probably like be whipping out my checkbook and like
you're like $60. I'm sending this out right now. And then in this commentary, you say that you want an old Corvette Stingray and that you want it white with a pink swoosh.
No, I did have that configured as like my color scheme of choice. And I do love that color scheme. It's not what I ended up with. I ended up with like the classic Roman red with the white swoosh.
A pink would be so cute though.
Well, that's what they made for the Barbie movie, is that same model Corvette, but it's like light pink with a white swoosh.
Yeah.
So fucking cute.
Really cute. But I think white with the pink swoosh is super cute.
Maybe I'll do another one if I'm feeling like I have some spare income later on. Did I talk about ordering the golf cart?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about that because we talked earlier in this episode about how we went golf scramble. As you know, my ex-husband took my original golf cart, never to be seen again. But I thought, and I've always been bummed about that because I always thought that I should have kept that golf cart.
Yes.
I think of it more as a gift from you than a gift from Hef. Like I know,
do too.
Me too. Like I know he technically paid for it, but very begrudgingly. And you're the one who designed it.
Yeah.
And it was something I wanted so bad, and it was so cute. So I was always pissed that got taken away from me. And I was like, you know what? I should just reorder it, because Trisha ordered one. Like she contacted us a couple years ago before I was even friends with her, and like asked like, where did you get the golf cart? I don't even think she reached out. I think she put it on our story, and
somebody got to me and
Yeah.
I sent the information.
yeah. And she got a golf cart made. Hers doesn't have Playboy bunnies on it. It has like her sad boy logo, but it's the same golf cart. And I was like, you know what? I should just order the fucking golf cart again. I'm not going to get Playboy bunnies on it either. I'm just going to leave that spot blank, but everything else is going to be just like the golf cart.
Did you do the same place?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And there's a few subtle differences, like that bar thing it has in the front. That doesn't come in chrome anymore, I guess. So they're like, you can either get it in black or pink. I got it in pink. But other than that, it's the exact same golf cart, just without the Playboy bunnies. And inflation's a bitch. It now costs double what it did 15 years ago.
Oh,
but
shit.
but it's still, honestly, those golf carts like aren't as much as I thought they would be. Like I had a vision in my mind, a guess of what I thought a custom golf cart would cost. And knowing that Hef was so cheap about it and didn't want to pay for it, I kind of had this inflated number in my head. So when I found out from you what it actually was, I was like, oh, he didn't want to pay for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's double what that is now, because it's 15 years later and inflation is crazy. But I'm excited, and I wanted us to do promo pictures with it. And it's supposed to be here in time for our season 4 promo shoot. If not, we'll just do another shoot.
When you get it.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
I'm
that's so fun. I'm
excited to get it. Yeah, I'm going to keep it in Vegas because I live in the same neighborhood as my ex-husband. So I think it'd be something fun for like the kids to play around with. Or
Yeah, you wouldn't be
his
able
hands
to,
are off of it this time, though.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to drive it around LA.
I mean, I would have no use for it here, just because like
No.
where my house is, like what would I do with it? But in Vegas, I'm in a nice little gated community, so
Yeah.
I can have fun with it.
That's so cool.
I want to do a collab with the golf cart girl. Do you follow the golf cart girl?
No.
She does golf. She's a golf cart girl in Vegas, and she does a TikTok page that's all about her golf cart girl life. And I met her at Power Slap. We've followed each other for forever, but she was at Power Slap, and I met her there, and I'm like, I'm getting a golf cart. And I don't think she's familiar like with my history with the golf cart. She's like, oh, why? And I'm like, just because it's cute. Like, I want to get a golf cart. I'm like, we should collab.
That's funny.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Does she like do the snack carts on the golf?
Yes, she works at a
Oh.
golf course in Vegas, and she's like the drink cart girl and
That's
stuff.
so fun.
And she built a TikTok following just talking about her day. And now she like has her own like pink and green golf cart and does all this cute stuff and makes her drinks with sparkles and stuff like that.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. What a fun job.
Oh
I
yeah.
would do that.
She's really made a thing out of it. It's really cute.
Remember how I said there's a million jobs I want? I would do that.
Yeah.
I
I can
would love
see you
to have
doing
my own
that,
little
yeah.
snack cart. All cute.
Well, even
Thanks.
like just driving around, like we weren't even golfing at the Playboy Golf Scramble, and we had so much fun. Those
Yeah,
were
did
fucking
we even
fun.
finish talking about the golf scramble?
I don't think we need to, just because there will be an episode in
Oh,
the
okay.
future where we
Okay,
can
we'll talk
really
about
get
it
into
then.
it. But we really had fun at that.
We had so much
It's one of
fun.
my favorite memories.
Yeah.
So if you'd like more content, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/girlsnextlevel. We talk all about the true crime cases and lots of other stuff.
So fun.
Check out our merch at girlsnextlevel.shop, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of something else.